Happy New Year. Welcome back, everyone. So lovely to be with you all. Have some big news. Our next retreat, online retreat, will be February 2nd through the 4th. So please join that if you can. Yeah, we'd love to have you. I know sometimes Kundalini people are a little bit nervous about going on retreats. And, in the way that I teach and work, I encourage you just to really face this basic truth that you're on a path of spiritual awakening. And so it's going to be good to go on some retreats and take some big steps on the path. And retreat is always a wonderful way to connect more fully with the teachings and with your direct experience, and to really open into this greater consciousness that the divine is trying to give birth to through your very body and through your very experience. And so please join. Details are on the website for that. So I just spoke a moment ago about the importance of taking big steps on the path of Kundalini awakening. Big steps where we are choosing to align fully with the grace of the divine as she's waking up in you. This is so important, so necessary. And of course, my path, was all about this, taking big steps, massive steps. And the biggest steps often were just choosing to go on the next retreat. And I can't tell you how many retreats I went on, 100 plus, then I started teaching retreats, but, it might've been 150 plus retreats. And each time I went on a retreat, it seemed like a greater chunk of my consciousness, of my awakened consciousness, was able to stabilize in an abiding way. But in this moment, I really want to shift and talk about something quite different. But rather, I'd like to speak about slow, steady progress on the path. And with Kundalini, it's kind of sexy to talk about, I went on this ayahuasca retreat, or I went on a 10-day Vipassana retreat, whatever it is. I went on a retreat with Craig, my Kundalini woke up. And that was a big step. But I've worked with thousands of people. And what I've realized is the people who actually awaken and stay awake, the people who are the ones who actually commit to the daily practice of making 1,000,001 small steps. And so today, I'd like to talk about both. We've spoken about taking big steps, and, this often I want you to think of as like the safest big steps you can take are retreat steps, which you're choosing to be on retreat, you're meditating, we're doing yoga, we're inquiring into the nature of our being. That's beautiful. The most dangerous big steps we can take are often through the use of psychedelics. I don't want to get into any debate about psychedelics right now, but I just want to say that sometimes we make some big steps, but it's not followed up with small steps, and then things can go a little haywire. And so in regards to small steps, the thing that Kundalini is inviting for you, for each of us, is for us to fundamentally shift our identity out of a fear-based consciousness, out of this ancient program in the limbic system, which is based in fight or flight. And so what this looks like every day, if we're going to step out of that, is stepping into a gentle sense of steady stability of mind, steady stability of our emotional nature. So this requires a steady practice. And I've taught for a long period of time that we should all be doing, like a good solid hour of meditation every morning, just like as a bare minimum. Now, on top of this, I'd like, of course, to add some body-based, yogic kind of practice. It's a little bit more integrated. And so we're moving in our body. We're being in our body. We're not just being in, some divine heaven realm in a state of meditation, but having some type of physical practice. It's yoga, tai chi, whether it's some form of dance or gardening, or even just consciously working throughout the day, of choosing to respond to life in a way where we are awake and aware to the external reality, like the Zen-like reality. We are awake and aware of what's happening in our body, in our emotional mind, in our mental mind, in our trauma mind, and that we are awake and aware with the Kundalini. And one of the things that I've been offering in this group in the last couple months is these short meditations. And what I want us to imagine is, again, we can take all kinds of big steps. But also I want us to imagine, like if we find ourselves at home and we find ourselves in bed and we're overwhelmed with Kundalini and we're having a difficult experience, that so much of our work is going to have to do with gently and steadily rewiring our nervous system. And one of the ways I like to think of like neural rewiring is we're choosing. So there has to be an adult, awake, spiritual one in the room who is choosing from a place of spiritual mastery, a place of spiritual autonomy. Who's choosing. There's a key word here. I want this to be a movement of empowerment. We are choosing to work with the body, to retrain the body. Because so many of our nervous systems have been traumatized, and so it gets stuck in fight or flight. And then when Kundalini comes into us, the Kundalini reminds us of our trauma, and it tends to almost have like a feeling of piling on, a feeling of overwhelm. And often we forget that, Kundalini is a gift of God. And unconsciously, we forget this. And we lump Kundalini in, with this feeling of trauma. It's like a real similar response as trauma. And it's like, we don't want to do that. We don't want to lump these two together. You can't lump Kundalini in with trauma. Because every time you think of Kundalini, as you check in with it, what it does is it's, if we've got it linked with trauma, neurologically, it's like we're training our body. A Kundalini is a trauma response, is something we need to fear. And so what I want us to think about, in this coming new year is committing to many small periods of meditation throughout the day. So maybe you find some of these 15-minute meditations and you do them 3 or 4 times a day. Maybe go online and you find some shorter ones, like 6-minute meditations. And we do some 6-minute meditations. I'm sure I probably have some of those online on my website or my YouTube channel somewhere. But short meditations, like 6-minute meditations 10 times a day. I think that's a lot of meditating. It's really just an hour where we're training our mind, our consciousness, our nervous system to relax and to receive throughout the day. And so I'm going to invite us all to close our eyes. Today, I'd like us to work with the micro cosmic orbit. And so we're closing our eyes, we're beginning to breathe, just to feel into the body. I'm going to invite all of us to bring awareness down into the root chakra. And just feeling into the root chakra. Inviting the root chakra to deeply relax. Feeling into the second chakra. We're breathing deeply and fully to the root chakra and into the second chakra, inviting the second chakra center to relax and to open. So breathing in and breathing out, inviting the first chakra, the root, the second chakra to be relaxed and open. Okay, taking a deep breath and feeling into the solar plexus, inviting the solar plexus chakra, the third chakra center, to awaken, to relax, to open. And so feeling into the third chakra center here, inviting it to relax and to open. Yes, taking a deep and full breath. Rising up the spine a little bit, feeling into the heart chakra. Inviting the heart chakra to be relaxed, at ease, and open. And already, as you get to the heart chakra, you may notice a sense of energetic aliveness in the root, the hara, solar plexus, the heart chakra really opening up and expanding in a beautiful way. Inviting this energy gently to flow up the spine and feeling into the throat chakra. Breathing, feeling, opening. Inviting the throat chakra to be open as we breathe in and breathe out. As we breathe in one more time, inviting awareness to wake up in the space of the mind, the third eye. The whole space of the mind is open, it's relaxed, it's at ease, disconnected, the thinking mind disconnecting from the personal sense of identity in the mind. Just allowing the mind to be peaceful, spacious, open, deeply relaxed, deeply relaxed. And finally coming to the crown chakra. Just taking a deep breath and just noticing, as the crown chakra open, is it receptive? Is it allowing for energy to flow up the spine, out of the crown, out of the top of the head? And with that, I'm going to invite us just to imagine all 7 chakra centers fully open. As we're breathing in, just gently imagining drawing the energy up the spine, through the root, through the hara, through the solar plexus, through the heart, the throat chakra, the third eye, through the crown. And as you exhale, that energy gently cascading down, coming down over the front of the body, blessing the body, calming the nervous system on the exhale. And again, as we breathe in, gently drawing this energy up the spine, through the heart, through the throat, through the third eye, out the crown, and with the exhale, this energy coming down, showering down, meeting in the root. And as you breathe in, again, it's this microcosmic orbit, it's this energy gently flowing up the spine, out the top of the head, and you might even imagine just gently guiding like a gold orb, from the root to the solar plexus, to the heart, to the third eye, through the crown, and flowing down the front, blessing the front body. And again, meeting at the root, this golden orb, gently flowing up the spine as we inhale, flowing out the top of the head. And I'm going to invite you just to work with this. Be breathing in and breathing out. Just working at your own pace. Seeing this golden orb flowing up the spine as we inhale and coming down the front as we exhale. I'm going to invite you to do this. Just gently work with this movement of breath, drawing this orb up the spine, out the top of the head, and down the front, and just noticing what this feels like as we continue to work with this breath. Very intentionally. 6 or 9 more breaths. Just breathing in and drawing that energy up the spine. Breathing out. Finding the energy to flow down. Teaching the body. It feels good to be open. Teaching the body to be relaxed and at ease. Teaching the body to receive this flow of Kundalini. Going up the spine on the inhale. Going down the front on the exhale. And having gentle sense that you're teaching your body to be masterful. Teaching your body to be gently disciplined, like a great yogi. And so just inviting the gentle flow of this microcosmic orbit, energy flowing up the spine and coming down the front. And you may have little kriyas, you may notice a greater flow of energy. But simultaneously, you might notice this very quiet energy of Shiva in the background. Feeling a sense of stability. Sense of deep trust and open-heartedness. A sense of being like a mountain, strong, open, steady, unmovable. And yet simultaneously, right through the center, it's this gentle microcosmic orbit flowing up the spine and down the front. Going up the spine as we inhale. And as we exhale, flowing down the front. So inviting this gentle sense of integration. Integrating the energies of Shiva, background, peace, non-dual, expansiveness, a timeless sense of freedom. And then in a gentle way, this microcosmic orbit, gently working out any kinks in the chakras, any places we're still holding, tense or tight. Just being gently massaged and opened and relaxed, released, unraveled. As we're breathing in and breathing out. Creating a gentle sense of harmony within the human body and the human nervous system. So breathing, feeling, and opening. And having a general sense of allowing the body to be as it is. Sometimes the body wants to move a little bit with kriyas, wants to dance a little bit, with these movements of tremors or shaking or tears. We allow it all to come. We allow it all to flow. We allow it all to release. Trusting, trusting, trusting. As we breathe in and breathe out. Gently inviting the body to be still in a space of meditation. Consciousness to be still like Shiva. But simultaneously, that the physicality finds it healing to move and to shake and to tremble. We allow the physicality to move while our consciousness is rooted in space of Shiva, timeless, eternal. And so with this, you can just gently open your eyes when you feel ready. And ultimately, I'm going to invite us all to play with this practice. Just short little meditations throughout the day. Because sometimes throughout the day, Kundalini gets stuck. And it often gets stuck because we have some maladaptive response to life. And like we have a thought, I need to send this email. And if you notice from a place of mindfulness and a place of clarity, there may be some resistance to sending an email to your boss or to a friend or a coworker, whatever it is. And so anytime you're noticing stress, we're choosing just to take a moment or 6 minutes, like whatever kind of time we can play with. A lot of us are working from home, and so it's okay if we take 6 minutes. And we just do a short little meditation. We begin to pop, these little stress bubbles that we have in our mind. We invite the body to relax so that Kundalini can flow. The primary thing that happens when our nervous system is overstimulated is the nervous system contracts, causing the chakras to contract, causing the Kundalini to get stuck or become, pressurized in one of the centers. And the major thing that Kundalini wants from all of you is for each of you to be master yogis, to have a sense of mastery over your body, over your mind, to always be connected and actually in tune with or dissolved into the direct experience of your being. And in order to feel stress, we have to, like, literally be in our egoic nature. And so this path is a path of true spiritual awakening. It's a path that's inviting you to come into this recognition that you are light. You are the consciousness of Shiva. Shiva is not something different than you. Shiva is the very spaciousness of your mind, of your body. And so anytime throughout the day, if we find ourselves stuck and maybe having a thought, gosh, I've struggled with this Kundalini for 4 years or 6 years or 10 years. Why isn't it changing? It's because Kundalini is fundamentally asking you to shift out of egoic identification and into the direct experience of knowing yourself as the divine. And the divine isn't stressed. The divine isn't worrying about what someone said to us online. The divine is not, offended because, someone said something that wasn't politically correct or whatever. The divine is rooted in truth, rooted in compassion, rooted in love, rooted in peace and relaxation. And so this is what Kundalini is inviting for all of us. And so again, I want to invite us in this year 2024, as we look ahead, I want us to think about taking some big, giant leaps forward. But I also want us to think about making 1,000,000 small steps. The steps of integration, the steps of choosing the truth over choosing, over unconsciously being seduced by some little voice in our head and letting that thing lead us. And instead, we're being seduced by God, being seduced by our highest nature, not being seduced by our unconscious nature. And so all this requires that we step into our power of choice, where we choose to make these 1,000,000 small steps in alignment with our highest truth. Okay.